Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Tonight's film is 1980's The Children. 1980's The Children. The release that you're looking at right here is the DVD release. I believe it's pretty rare. It might have gone back in print, got reissued on DVD, but this is put out, distributed by Troma, the infamous Troma, and this is The Children right here. This is the Troma release of The Children, and this actually, I believe, might be the only official release of this film so far. I believe Troma owns the rights to this film, and you might be able to find it on VHS. But this is the release, and for some time it was kind of out of print. But I believe it might be back in print, but it still might not be the easiest thing to find, especially the first edition of this DVD. This is 1980's The Children. You know, there are a lot of films out there that uh, that involve kind of evil children. You have Happy Birthday to Me, I think it's called. Um, you have Beware Children at Play, which was also distributed by Troma. Um, and you know, there are films out there, mostly in the 70s and 80s, where you have evil children, you know, so to speak. You even have the older films like Bad Seed and things like that. This film. Um, really kind of sets itself apart in a lot of ways. We essentially are involving children kind of morphing as a result of something nuclear, a nuclear leak, so to speak. And the way that I'm not giving anything away, so the way that these children kind of kill people is very, very unique. It's very weird. And at first, you might even like laugh, like you don't know what the hell you're watching. And then as it continues, you're like, wow, this is kind of creepy and kind of weird. And this film really kind of takes the interactions of the community. It's almost like a Stephen King like community. If you catch my drift, it's like a town. It's one town. And the movie takes place in this one town, and you get to learn the people of that town. Um, it's almost like, you know, like a Stephen King community, like Salem's Lot or something like that, where you know, learn the people who run the local store, the local pharmacy, and then the people who work over here, and you know, the cops, and you know, the vigilante justice guys over here in the corner who are drunks, town drunks and perverts, and you know, and you get to learn who the swingers are, and it's like this wild kaleidoscope of characters in this film. And this movie is very atmospheric, very creepy, very bizarre, authentically, and also with a healthy dose of exploitation as well. So let's get into this film a little bit. The Children from 1980. Now, while Troma has distributed this film, Troma did not make this film. Okay, so that's something that you need to know. Carlton J. Albright made this film, and there's some great special features on here as well. Lots of interviews and behind the scenes and things like that. So, if we get in first to the music, the first thing that you should notice as you're watching this film is, if you're a fan of slasher films from the 80s, the music right off the bat is going to make you go, wait a second, what is going on here? The music is great. The music's creepy, it's atmospheric, but it heavily reminds you of another movie, another franchise, called Friday the 13th. And as the credits rolled, I realized Manfredini actually did the score for this film. It doesn't say it on the back here. I just want to see. It actually does not say it on the back, but he's in the credits. So Manfredini, who did the scores for, you know, the Friday the 13th up to Jason X, actually, did this. And there are a lot of cues in this film that really sound exactly like Friday the 13th. And then those cues are expanded upon and change and morph and don't sound like Friday the 13th. But there are a lot of cues in here that really sound like Friday the 13th. So that's the first thing right off the bat. But the music is very creepy. And if you know Friday the 13th, those loud, those kind of orchestrated stings like, boom, and then kind of this, you know, so there's a lot of that in there, and then a lot of just kind of you know, really kind of just suspenseful, horrific, creepy type of orchestrated music in here, with a lot of variations within that as well. When we go into the cinematography of this film, this is where this type of evil children film kind of sets itself apart in a lot of ways, because it's very, very heavy on atmosphere. We have shots of reflections, overhead shots. We have shots of abandoned things. I'm not giving things away here. Uh, Something abandoned, and how kind of the storyline leaves you abandoned, and kind of leaves things abandoned, and the mystery and the suspense of that all. This film is done in real time as well. I love movies like that. I love horror films like that in particular, and it's done in real time. This is a particular case where we really are using a lot of cinema, a lot of style in the filming, that really kind of accentuates the creepiness and the bizarre nature of the film, and really accentuates the atmosphere. And it's almost as if the filming is like it's like fog. It really is. And there's even some smoke in this film that I thought really was really Silent Hillish. If there was a lot of atmosphere in the smoke, and I'm not going to tell you where the smoke comes in or anything else, but it really reminded me of Silent Hill. It really reminded me of kind of getting lost and claustrophobic, and going off into another space, another world, another portal, so to speak. It was really weird and mysterious. Um, this is a film of characters. Of course, you have the children, but this is a film of characters where you were really, like I said before, meeting all the characters in this town, and you have some really, some characters that are just talking about wanting to have sex with the young girl, or younger girl, or you have some gun-toting characters, lots of guns. You got some cops, and you got this couple at the pool, which is really freaking weird. This topless woman and her bodybuilding guy, maybe husband, and she was actually from the Joe Spinell movie Maniac. She got her scalp kind of sliced off in one of the scenes, and there's even a guy from the John Carpenter's The Thing. If John Carpenter's Thing, if you see him in here, you'll know who I'm talking about. So there's a lot of weird characters. There's this blind girl that plays piano, who has a mom who dresses in a bikini, or is that her sister? I'm not really sure. Who acts really weird. There's this pregnant woman who is her acting is so freaking weird. She's very bizarre. The sound of her voice, the way her eyes move, the way she looks, just freaking weird. But it works. And you realize she has a lot of kind of pivotal points of it throughout the film as well. This is a film that has some sexiness to it. I mean, we have some nudity, we have some bikinis, we have some sexuality, some jean shorts. One character in particular who is kind of a sexual focus in the film. And this is a film that has some pretty badass special effects. Yes, this is a very low budget film, but the special effects in this film are kind of gross. They're kind of jarring. They're kind of weird. And this is a film, by the way, that is very politically incorrect, which most killer children films, especially from the 70s and 80s, like the ones I mentioned at the beginning of this video, tend to be. This one in particular really, really is. I mean, we have. Killing animals, weird stuff with a pregnant lady, of course, killing children. I mean, this movie has it all. Killing the disabled, but it's not done in a funny way. It's not done in a trauma way, even though trauma distributes it. Not at all. It's done in a very normal fashion that is. You're really trying to figure out the intentions in some points, but it's done it comes out disturbing. It comes out weird. I laughed out loud one time because I was just so shocked at what a character said, and how disturbing it kind of was, and weird, especially in our politically correct times in 2016. Um, this is a creepy, weird, low budget, and very unique, very original in the storyline, in the way people are murdered, in the way you stop the murders. It's almost so weird. It's a freaking weird. Um, and this film, really, the duration of the film is this suspense of people lost, people abandoned, searching for those people, and at the same time being deluded because people are not who they say they are, like John Carpenter's thing, you know. And you have this suspense and this terror as you are traveling with the leads in the film and searching out the truth through creepy structures, creepy homes, different establishments, daytime and nighttime. And since it's in real time, we go from daytime into nighttime. This is a very original storyline, I would say, definitely. Not your typical what you would think would be dealing with nuclear power or nuclear leak. This is a pretty weird one, pretty wild one, and it has a healthy dose of exploitation as well. But I would not say camp, and I would not say cheese, and I would not say schlock. Although I could see people definitely laughing at the kids and things like that, and the way the kids look at times and things. But watch people's fingernails, folks. It has a lot to do with this film. This is 1980s Carlton J. Albright's The Children. This is it right here, folks. Um, Thank you so much for watching this review, and thank you for watching the Temuera Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Feel free to check out all my other reviews on this page, and please feel free to check out my own personal films at youtube.com/poopy diarrhea. Thank you, and good night, children.